Hello, Narnach here, and welcome back to Path of Exile. We're playing in the Fall of Oriath beta. I've just completed Act 5, and now we're gonna start on Act 6.
I'm Captain Lily Roth, and we sail for Rayclast. Better to live in exile than die on a psychotic bonfire of an island. You want to make it out of here? You better get aboard, but make it quick, because I ain't got time for tears and regrets.
Ah, so she's been waiting for about 2-3 hours now, so she's not that impatient. Well, you don't have to rush through. That's it. Let's get going.
Remember, this ain't no charity run. You owe me. Cast off!
Traveling back to Lionized Watch.
Alright, we're safe for the time being. Now let me introduce myself properly. Lily Roth. Yeah, I'm one of those Roths. Some call me smuggler, others pirate. Yeah, I prefer the sound of nautical entrepreneur. Came up with that one myself. So you come see Lily if you need something. Or even if you just fancy a good chat with a lovely lady.
A lovely lady.
Don't be forgetting that favor you owes me. In fact, now I think of it, there's certainly a way you can be repaying this most considerable debt. You see, those blasted cultists have been plundering the refugee ships trying to escape Oriath. And if not for my incomparable skill as a sea captain, we'd have met the same fate. But now the drowned dead are washing ashore, and they ain't staying dead. There's been a whole lot of blood, sweat and tears getting these few lucky survivors here in one piece. What sort of captain would I be if I let them get ripped apart by walking corpses? Wipe the Twilight Strand clean of those filthy undead bastards and I'll call us even. Might even throw in a little something extra, if you can pull it off.
Oh, nice. Okay. So how's the audio for you? Is it all loud and clear, or is it a bit on the soft end? That's always difficult to gauge, but it feels like it's a little on the soft end. Also, a good evening, Peer Pressured and Camille. So nice of you to join us tonight. I'll just preemptively up the dialogue volume a little bit here. And then let's have a look. Now, as before, just listening to all the new dialogues. So let's try another one. Indeed, chat's confirming it's a little soft, so turning it up, doing one more dialogue, and then now having a look and see if it's a bit better.
Waylon Roth. Here, let me share something I remember from one of me granddaddy's stories.
Nah, it's still
No
too
sooner
weird, too
had
soft.
Turn and fear from the great white Leviathan did Waylon load the ballista of his final harpoon. And right then he vowed to sea and sky that he and he alone would be the one to finally kill this bastard son of the Brine King. The ballista fired, and the harpoon smote that creature right between the ribs as it made a dive back under the angry sea.
Better now.
Thick clouds of blood bloomed beneath the waves, roses flowering on the black water. And impossible though it seemed, the already shadowed ocean grew darker still. He used the bones of that great beast to reinforce the hull of his ship, the Black Crest. Old Rottooth, he's a true legend, a real pirate hero. I can only hope one day me own stories will reach his ears and make him proud of the granddaughter he had to leave behind.
Okay. So, is this any better? Game sound is soft. Yeah, the music and the combat sounds are supposed to be a bit on the softer end, but because this is all new content, I do want the dialogue to be just a good volume. I think that's it's better, but if I just look at the volume meter, the sound of my voice is a lot. It's now getting close. So let's listen to two more, and then we're gonna advance.
Yeah, I knew Tarkley, if you catch me drift. He's got no time for his old bunkmate these days, though. Too gaga-eyed for that lost cause of a fishwife, Nessa. Time was, Tarkley and I would smuggle all about the coast of Oriath. Good days they was. Sweet with rum, nothing but wind and salt in our faces. Freedom in our hearts, and the law on our tails. But I could tell he were getting ready to make feet for children's stockings with me, so I cut him loose. Not a spark's chance under the ocean the dready Lily Roth's gonna end up swelling like some drowned carcass. Still, be nice to work with that bugger one more time. Just for old time's sake, you know?
Okay, Bestel. Crazy old Bestel.
That scallywag. I reckon Bestel thinks I'd be the kind of lass who'd bed down with any sort of rascals. Not far off, I guess. He is rather sweet, but not the most comely of figures. Actually, he kind of reminds me of my grandfather, Wayland Roth. A poet and scoundrel extraordinary, he be. Bestel's but spittle from the mouth of old Rot-Tooth Roth. Bust me blind cheeks, said the sailor to the doxy. She sports her dairy treats afar and relishes her moxie. But a fire ship'll sink the broken 'neath the ocean waves. Tip nutmegs, a deadly token, sends captains to their graves.
Okay. Poetry is not really my kind of thing. And there we have Sin, just innocently sitting here in the harbor. What do you have to say? Oh wait, no voice acting. You've taken the first step, Beast Slayer. You shall take many more until the blood in your heart is a gentle rain to the tempest that drenches your skin. The beast must live again, else your kind is doomed to slavery. Yet never again shall my creation be mastered by ambitious mortals. I will see to that. As for your part, you will see to fixing what you have broken. 3 hearts you broke, and 3 hearts you must mend. Fortunately, I have just the medicines in my mind. Shavronne of Umbra, Inquisitor Malagaro, Doedri the Dark Tongue. Fond acquaintances of yours, I understand. Like yours, their spirits have proven to be remarkably resilient and malleable. I shall apply their unique vigor to my poor, dismembered beasts. That is, once you have harvested their souls for me. Let us begin with Shavronne. She has come home to Axiom. We shall give her the warm welcome she sincerely deserves. Okay, sounds like she could act in Black Sails. I haven't seen Black Sails yet. Let's see, that was Shavronne. So, the essence of Umbra. Let's see what he has to say. Or what I have to say. She is to be any of us. If she is to be of any use to us, the Umbra's spirit must be wrenched from her mortal manifestation and lashed to the greater cause of our beast's resurrection. That is your task. I shall negotiate the terms of her cooperation. With tragic kiss and a lasting embrace, her essence shall pass into me as if she were sweet breath from the mouth of my lover. It is a sacrosanct sacrifice for all involved. Thankfully for you, all I ask is that you do what you clearly do best. Kill. Okay. Indeed, killing things is good. We're pretty good at killing. Shavronne's soul. Ambition is the bane of mortality. It was through ambition that we gods transcended the thick mud and the thin blood of our mundane birthrights. Ambition that drove us to sustain our divine selves with the subjugation of others. Shavronne's soul is made up of 1 part ambition and 2 parts raw, unbounded passion. Such a volatile spark shall rekindle the fire within even the most deadened of hearts. Okay, that's almost poetic. Rise of the Gods. I shall put this simply, for in truth, everything comes down to the simple act of planting a seed in the ground. The gods are rising because you slew the one creature that prevented them from doing so. Your name for it is the beast. It was I who planted the seed in the rich soil beneath Highgate, who nurtured it, who watched it bloom into maturity, even as I succumbed to its mollifying powers. We gods, we were driven into slumbering darkness, to dream away eternity, whilst the gentle beast watched over us. I would have us return to the blissful state, and I believe this world shares that wish with me. Okay. Getting the beast back doesn't sound like a great idea though. So please, add a bit more info. The beast, as it is known to you, was never a cruel master. If it didn't want to destroy, to corrupt, to terrorize. It simply existed to exist. I made it that way. Unfortunately, it Neglecting to provide it with ambition, I made it vulnerable to the ambitions of others. Queen Naziri and Doriani, Emperor Chidis and Malachi. Others, even before them. I created a beast that would free humanity from the tyranny of the gods. Yet all I really did was provide the perfect tool with which humanity could tyrannize itself. Ah. So the beast was not evil, it was just evil men that made the beast appear evil. Okay. Okay, I can accept that.
I do believe our faithful work has been rewarded. Somewhere to hide out from under the malevolent gaze of corruption. God has revealed just such a holdfast to me. All that remains is for you and I to accept his most generous offer. Shall we take a look, Crusader?
Ah yes, great hideout.
Finally.
And we claim it.
What better place?
And I don't think we can put any decorations in here. Exactly. So that would also make it a bit more difficult to actually put down the crafting benches, wouldn't it? Ah. Now we have. Oh, okay. Okay. So, as far as I understand, exactly this is going to work like the new microtransaction system as well. Now you just have the things and you can just put them down. And if you've unlocked them in a previous league, from what I understand, you will just get the hideout items in here and you can just put it down. So that's going to be good. So, but of course, this is a fresh league without any history to it, so we can't do much. Hey, and we now see that the world has a part 1 and a part 2, and there's plenty of space for a part 3 and a part 4 and a part 5. So that's cool. Well, for now, let's actually get going. First of all, there's a couple more people to talk to. Sorry, but I do care about the lore and I do want to hear what everybody has to say before we're gonna go kill things. Now there's a pair of eyes I could never forget. If the tales are true, those peepers of yours have seen all the wonders in Ray class by now, and a few things that they likely wish they hadn't. Oh, and no need for us to speak of Oriath. My ears are brimful with the sorrows these wretched companions of yours have been spilling. Now, I'm sure you've noticed that Lionel's Watch has seen better days. Our once bubbling township has, alas, become a brooding quagmire of gloom and despair. I blame the unrelenting weather. As you know, I'm both a humanitarian and a strong believer in the soul-sustaining power of story. Back when I was still captain of the Merry Gull, many days at sea afforded me time to work on my thespian aspirations. I wrote a theatrical epic, a one-man show entitled Cedric and the Buxom Stranger. I sealed the manuscript inside a roll of oiled leather and stashed it in the hold for safekeeping. Perhaps you could salvage it for me from that tidal island upon which my poor ship came to rest. Who knows, maybe we can bring some joy back to Lionel's Watch with a bit of live entertainment. Okay. Not entirely heroic, but we'll accept it. We'll accept it. Oh, note from Camiliali, if you get the crafting benches in your hideout, make sure to put them down before you leave, because otherwise you'll lose it until they'll fix the hideout system. So that brief glimpse into the microtransaction system, apparently it resets if you don't apply your things. So put your benches down or you're gonna have a problem. Thanks for the heads up there. Okay, that's up. Nessa. I don't notice Nessa here, so what's up with that? Now that's a story tale. More miserable than any dirge I've ever heard. Nessa's gone, wandered off into the night, muttering to herself about dancing to his ditty. No, I didn't go after her. In truth, she was gone when I woke up the next morning. I only imagined she'd be muttering, you see, on account of the murmuring she'd been making these past few weeks. Always the same about him and his song, whoever in damnation he is. Lily. Lily Roth, granddaughter of the legendary Rod-Tooth Roth. Apologies, I seem a little giddy. It's not any old day that you get to meet a maritime royalty. I mean, you know how much I feel about pirates and all, but the Roths have so much in common with those scurvy sea rats as a shark does with a goldfish. Lily has her granddaughter's blood in her veins. It's plain for all to see. Look at the luster in her eyes, the ruddy blush on her skin. There's a pirate princess, and no mistake. Brine King. You won't find a sailor that doesn't whisper a quiet prayer to the Brine King before casting off. In fact, under the maddening radiance of a full moon, the more superstitious captains would drown some poor slave or felled a mutineer, just to keep old Salgoth happy. No, that wasn't a sneeze. That's the fish god's old Asmarian name. Considered foul luck to speak it on board a ship. A keel-hauling offense. Okay, that's pretty nasty. So maybe tied to speaking the name of a deity calls upon their attention, and well, those who have seen the trailer of the Brine King know that it's well, goes accompanied with some rough waves. Whalem Roth. You'll not find a more renowned pirate as Whalem Rod-Tooth Roth. In times when Fairgrace was still a whelp earning his sea legs, Rod-Tooth was prowling the Straits of Oriath in his ship, the Black Crest. Said he built it himself, lining its holes with the bones of some great sea beast he slew with nothing but a harpoon and a bottle of rum. Never was there a more nimble, more ferocious vessel. Like that Leviathan spirit still lived and breathed in its timbers. No one sighted Rod-Tooth for 20 years or more, but I know where the Black Crest is. The ship graveyard, no less. Seems that Whalem Roth might have had his last meal with Lady Merveil. Okay. So Bestel now allows us to buy magic items, and again, no second tab for gems. Seems like a missed opportunity, or just another system that we have to wait for to make its appearance. See, Haku. Can send you to the hideout, that's good. Let's see, Tarkly. First we hear that Oriath has lost its bloody mind. Then you turn up. Doesn't take a scholar to work out how those two events might be connected. I don't know what's going on out there, and I probably wouldn't understand, even if I saw it with my own two eyes. What I do know is this: the world we knew, it's gone. Now we have to do our damnedest to make sure we don't go with it. That's pretty simple reckoning. Nessa saw her one night, running out across the coast, headed in the direction of the mudflats. Called out to her, but she didn't even turn her head. Maybe she couldn't hear me, maybe she didn't want to. I bloody don't know. I tried to run after her, but she'd vanished into the darkness before my feet had barely touched the sand. So I tracked her all the way to the mudflats. That's when her tracks, they just stopped. No sign of meeting someone or something. No sign of a struggle. It's like one moment she was running, and next, gone. Look, I've heard some things about what you've done. Things that beggar belief. Now, you can do this. Please, find Nessa. Bring her back to us. Yeah, Nessa. Lily. I wonder how much Lily squeezed out of those refugees from Oriath. Yes, she did risk her life and ship to save them, but I knew the Lily of old. Damn fine smuggler. And that Lily never committed a good deed without a good profit. Okay, and that concludes the lore. So we can actually finally get to killing things. On to the Twilight Strand. First time we actually ever enter it from this side rather than from the other. So level 45 area, I'm 47. And interestingly, there's a little alcove over here.
I do love the stink of victory.
Maybe we should turn down the, actually disable the gameplay event voices, guys. That is gonna get old pretty quickly. Okay, so lots of spirits. Exploding spirits or... Interesting. And I just love the new minimap to actually show you what parts of the water you can walk in and what parts of the water are simply walls, so to say. But the mission here is to clear the Twilight Strand, and clear it we shall. Aided by the power of a new minimap. Including a full clear should be relatively doable because, well, we know exactly where we have been and where we haven't been. As long as we just keep systematically moving from one side to the other. I don't think there's going to be any mobs that will appear behind us and that we will be missing. So, got a pack of magic monsters, explodes, ignites me, sure. Then we just clear the burning. And then we start on this. Okay, bigger group, so let's put up our totem here. And that's superior melee damage on full life support. 16%, that's a fair chunk. If I actually wanted to use it at some point, 16% quality is pretty darn nice. Speaking of melee damage on full life, let's actually keep a bit of an eye out for our life bar in the middle of fights when taking damage. If I manage to build up enough life leech stacks, does my life actually mostly stay maxed out, or is it basically just always trying to catch up? Well, for melee damage on full life that kind of matters. Because I know if you're playing mostly energy shield based builds, especially if you have something that also regenerates your ES, no, Ghost Reaver or Zealot's Oath, and that works rather well. In this case, for a life based build, maybe even with Slayer Leech, it's not going to be the greatest of ideas. But we'll see. I initially thought of using it, but then the more I started theory crafting, the more better support gems I found for it instead, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Okay, another strong box. What's in the box? 3 rares. Okay. Little snugly packed together, but hey, I'm not judging. They're having a party in a box, and they're having a party in a box. And there's one monster remaining. Could that be a unique? Yes, Reef of Abram. I don't recognize that name. Okay, you're doing quite some damage. Yeah, that's some explosive damage in the nearby area. 61% fire resistance, and it still hurt like a truck. So yeah, getting more life seems like a wise option here. Or we can simply portal back to town to report this in rather than having to walk. So that is nice. It was Lily who asked us to do this, so let's have a look.
A wretched sight. So many drowned Oriathans cast into undeath. You've freed them from their torment, and I'm sure they'd be grateful. Here, that little something extra we're talking about. Though the sea takes away, it gives back in greater measure.
Ooh, is that a skill point? 2 respect points. Oh, okay. That's basically the equivalent of the foul cave trait.
You have the look of a wayfarer about you. I've a few bits and bobs in the old that I managed to salvage from Oriath. Might be you're in the market for a little insurance for the road? A sort of nautical charm or a quafford tonic be providing. Go on, have a look-see. And if you be thinking to trade, I reckon we can come to a fair arrangement.
Okay. Ah, so Lily is the gem vendor now. That actually makes a lot of sense, given the fact that, no, she's a pirate / nautical entrepreneur. So her having a stash full of gems instead of poor old Bestel, it actually makes more sense from a lore perspective. So I do like it. That said, I don't think there's currently anything I'm really looking to get. So we'll just move forward. So Sin, nope, nothing new to report, so we can ignore you. Let's see.
Still alive.
Sarkly, you don't have anything new to report. Bestel not either. So we can actually move forward. Onto the coast we go. Good old coast. Well, we murdered Fire Fury, so who or what would have taken her place? A superior item rarity. I think someone just mentioned that and then it drops. That's funny. Hey, was that a Scorching Ray totem I saw? That's pretty cool, also pretty scary. My resists aren't even maxed out, so getting my resists penetrated, I'm not too keen on that happening. Okay. They're definitely doing a lot more damage here. And this is definitely not lame old Act 1 with the lame old Act 1 monsters. This is exciting. Okay, you were peppering me with some cold stuff from a distance, so let's burn through that. Okay, so for now we'll just stick to the right hand wall. That's gonna be the water. Also, it's almost like these dogs have been half burrowing. And you are gone. Okay, Tukohama's Vanguard. And Fire Claws. Yeah. So you were the one that dropped the totem. Hey, Crusacian Snipers, extra cold damage. I think the extra cold damage bit is new here. And oh look, lush greens. Oi, got you see I was admiring the greenery. It's really impolite to just assault someone when they're paying attention to the plants. Karui Barbarians. Wait, did that rare actually just burrow through the floor? That's interesting. Hey, in a tormented smuggler. It's happily looking for something to possess. Does it actually find a rare? No, I don't think so. Also, there's a lot of damage coming in here. So far, so good, but the spiky damage is definitely starting to frighten me a little bit. So the question is, could we using an ice version of Blast Rain? That might very well be. Let's pay a little bit more attention to the skill descriptions. So the Warhounds are indeed burrowing. Yeah, they actually burrow. Mechanically might be related to a flame dash, but oh, a burning burrow. Sounds pretty cool. Whoa, what? Tukohama's loyal. I don't like you. Can we disagree that I don't like him? That's the new Fire Fury. Holy moly. That's Tukohama's pet dog. Gee. Wow. As I said, I don't like this dog. Good thing is, I'm playing this on standard, because everything is new. So, the only downside here is we lose a little bit of XP. We can just keep going from where we were. Stuck to the right hand side, might as well stick to the left hand side now, and eventually we will converge where we were. So Act 6, don't make the same mistake I did and expecting it to be comparable to Act 1, cruel, therefore boring. Get some life, get some fire resists, because it's a step up. It's definitely a step up from what we had before. Most of the time, no, if you completed normal difficulty, then the cruel version was okay. And then it was pretty easy to just run through. Okay, I think this is roughly where I had the fight. Ah, there you are. Yeah, so in this case maybe multi-strike is also working against me, because it does keep me pinned in place for a longer duration. I think we might have exploded it. Not entirely sure. So yeah, take more damage, but there's no form of stacking, so it looks like Scorching Ray, but it might not actually be a Scorching Ray. And indeed, there's no tooltip of that it is a frozen blast ring. It definitely looks like it, though it's only a couple of arrows. I think blast rain is multiple projectiles, right? Okay, let's take these guys out. Okay, let's have a bit of a look at chat. Speaking of XP, how does the XP penalties work now that the difficulties are no longer a thing? To be honest, I have no idea. Could be that... No, X 6, 7, 8 is 5% and... or maybe it's just one. No, part 1 and part 2 maybe just have different penalties. That's also possible. I don't think it said anything about the... No, been slain doesn't say anything about the penalty, so it's difficult to put a value to. Yeah, but they're doing a lot of extra elemental damage. Which definitely doesn't help me. So there's a lot of cold damage here, so you get slowed. That is also not a great thing. This definitely will get some, take some getting used to, just how the mechanics work and those continuous totems that always keep pointing at you. Haven't they learned that it's rude to point? Okay, another there. Well, on the upside, Act 6 already starts so much more interesting than Cruel Act 1 always started, so I'm happy for this. This is a good thing. Even though in the short term it's much more difficult to do it. Let's see. Ah, this is indeed just the end, so it just bends down there. That's also nice. It's more or less a linear map now rather than something that has a bit more branching. But yeah, it's now going to be a priority to just fix my resists. Lightning is at 26%. Yeah, that's asking for trouble. But Diamond Skin will fix my fire and cold. And then we can grab the lightning here as a temporary measure to just boost it a little bit as well. Because in terms of items, I haven't really been all that fortunate. Good thing is, they seem to be mostly cold and fire-based foes rather than lightning foes. So there's an upside to all of this. The body. 4 parts for a unique body armor. I don't remember ever seeing this one. Could be that it used to spawn somewhere else, or it could be that it's a new one. But oh, you only need 4 parts for a unique body armor. That seems farmable. If it appears often enough, that is. Okay. Also, speaking of defenses and things like that, increasing the duration that the endurance charges stick around together with just getting more of them seems like a useful thing as well now, just to increase my mitigation a bit. And if we're being affected by the ray, let's see if we can have a look at the influence on the fire resistance. Is it some kind of resistance reduction or something like that, or no, like scorching ray, or is it something different? Okay, there's an exit here. There's a waypoint there. So in that regard, still mostly the same. And I did go very elaborately around this one guy here. Oh, according to the wiki, the body can only drop from armor's drop boxes. Okay. Did I get it from a thing, or did I get it from a monster? I don't even remember anymore. Okay, mud flats, that's one exit. Other exit is now the island, which has some ominously looking, Karoui looking things. So let's have a look. At least there's just a bunch of beasties here. That seems innocent enough. Wait, but if the thing just only drops from the sets or from the armor chests, then farmability, of course, of the card goes down by quite a bit. This is a bit more difficult to reliably get one of those things to appear than to just simply run through one area all the time. Ah, exactly. Very watery area. Area extends into the water. No minimap helps us do a full clear. What's the level here? 45. Okay, so we're still over leveled a little bit. Contour investment, sure, we can sell that. And we're moving inland here. Okay, compared to the madness of dealing with the Karoui, just dealing with some crabs and some water elementals is almost like playing on easy mode. I wonder what kind of false sense of security I'm being lulled into here. Let's see. Weeping Essence of Sorrow. Let's put our totem up already. Maybe we should have our anti-chill flask up. That definitely makes it easier to fight in vortexes. I'm so used to thinking of the freeze and chill effect removal flask as a freeze removal, and I never really considered chill because chill was never really a relevant thing in the game. But well, here it is. It does have some relevance. Ice trap. And there's a savage crab, and ahead is the boat. So what is guarding it? Riptide! That looks pretty cool. Yeah, just deal a little bit with the foes and then have a look. Riptide. What is your trick? You had the water wave, which does decent damage, about 500 points of damage. Well, also does some chilling. But now if you just keep your freeze and chill immunity flask up, then fighting against it is actually pretty trivial. So if you've got a decent amount of sustain, then this is actually a pretty decent fight. Or a non-challenging fight, so to say. That's good, but it's nice to get a little bit of a less difficult variation of the side areas. And of course the mud flats are going to be devilishly hard again. Also a superior flask, that seems useful. That seems very useful. Okay, let's see if we can just group some of the mobs together. Exactly, just wake up some more. Works much better if we just surround ourselves with foes rather than going after them one by one. And there we are. A couple more of you. So there are more hiding in the water. I think we might have found them. Let's see what's in the armor strong box. Pack of magic mobs. Yeah, add those as well. And then just do some clearing. Now, despite puncture damage not being completely through the roof, it's still decent enough, and especially against larger groups, it works. Oh, I think we had to go back to town, so might as well use the waypoint for that. And have a look and see what Bestel is gonna do. Marvelous! Ah, yes, it's all here. Act 1, Scene 1. Along the shoreline, the beach grass sways, a blazing sun sinks neath a sparkling base. Oh, strange be the night when the drowned dead rise, and the pale moon ascends upon cold skies. The stranger still is lost to me, those silken pillows upon which I lay at sea. Moody, atmospheric, not as funny as I remember, but I'm sure it gets better in Act 2. Regardless, you have my thanks. Please, take something for your efforts. And next time you're in town, do come see the show. I'll leave your name on at the door. If I can salvage a door from somewhere, that is. Okay, what are we gonna get? Ooh. Belt or a amulet. So that is nice. Having wanted to actually get myself a better anything. All of the gear here I found in Acts 3 and 4, so didn't actually get any upgrades in Act 5, and now we're already in Act 6, so I can do an upgrade for just about every item slot. This one has life and a bit of strength, but nothing really else. The amulet, we lose some int. We need a roll int on it, otherwise it's not really good. So for now, let's pick the leather belt and see what we can get out of it. Unfortunately, it's not an upgrade. So,
hello, Exile.
So let's have a look. Sell all the things we can't use. This is too old. Ooh, hello. 75 to maximum life, a little bit of cold resist. Okay, so we would be trading. We would be giving up even more resistances. That is a problem. That is a problem because look, right now resistances are the issue. So this one is not going to be it for us. This is not going to be it for us. And in terms of flasks, not really strict upgrades. What is this one going to roll? Not really anything useful either. Okay, we'll just stash things and then move forward. Oh, wait. These are essences. That means we can actually craft some rares later on. Everything else though, be gone. Into the box. Into the box you go. And melee damage on full life. Sure. We'll just put it in as well. And that takes us to the next step. The coast. Yeah, we went into the water, so next up is going to be the mud flats. I might have completely forgotten to clear the Necromancer's cave in the normal playthrough. So I wonder if someone else magically cleared the place. Oh, there's plenty of rogue exiles. I'm sure someone picked up the quest somewhere. It's a team effort after all. Okay, pass a skill point. So, focus on getting these resistances fixed. So, diamond skin over here. Yeah, diamond skin at least maxes out a couple of things. And indeed, I did saw my fire resist go down. So, overcapping your fire resist is gonna make it easier to deal with those scorching ray totems. Yeah, exactly. 65% down from 76, so that's already 11% that I lost there. No. Downside of a slower weapon combined with multi-strike. You are pinned in place quite a bit. I think I'm gonna end the multi-strike experiment for now. And just pick up melee damage. Because I need to be mobile here. Because the fact that I'm just locked in place for 3 attacks basically means I'm just attacking for a whole second. And it's working against me a bit too much. Let's see, use that one. That's full life. Leaf is, yes, that one. So let's try this again. To the mud flats. Hey, good evening, ham sandwich. Hey, let's try this again. It's back to regular attacks, not being locked in place. Trying not to die. That's better. Extra mobility in intense fights like these works. Also, I just don't have the sustain anymore that I seemed to have in Act 5. Combination of poor gear, lack of damage, and enemies just having insane damage output compared to me. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see how far we can push this until I really need to actually head to town and craft some gear. Just trying to cover everything at once. Of course, I think the Necromancer's Cave is where we need to eventually end up. I would like to see what else this area will have to offer us. But we're not an immortal tank anymore. That's for sure. What's in the strongbox? 3 rares, stream of mobs, cost a cloud, silver coins. Sure. Yeah, okay. Okay, let me rephrase that. As long as I keep using Puncture with life gain on hits, we're relatively fine. The moment I switch to Viper Strike, then we're having sustainability issues. It's just the life gain on hits against larger groups. That is the thing that still keeps us up. So I was just focusing too much on single target damage rather than on AoE damage. Which makes sense, we're dealing with groups. Even though, no, there were sometimes some powerful rares inside of the group. Yeah, this way it's much more sustainable. Okay. Everybody get around, get around. Hello there, Ghost. Is there anyone for you to possess? Nope, there's nobody for you to possess. That's too bad. Alright. It's probably... Oh, I stopped playing after I completed Act 5 at about 7 or so, and I think I started streaming again at 9:30. It was a good 2.5 hours. Wah! Dishonored Queen. Just have to get back into the build again. Because this is, right now, all the sustain is coming from life gain on hit and melee splash, not from our actual life leech. Because we're just not doing enough damage to make life leech really powerful. Okay, the dishonored queen even. We get an Eye of Conquest from you. Okay. And we have Nessa. We found Nessa.
He did this to me. The King of Brine. And he wants me to be... Oh God. Please. I don't know how I'm doing this, nor if I may again. Help me. Help us before...
Ah. Poor Nessa. Turned into a mermaid. By the Brine King. For that, we shall avenge her. I think that's the best thing to do. Let's see, we cleared that side, so now we can just keep pushing up here. And it's nice, we see we have missed a couple spots over here. Unfortunately, there are no mobs there. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see with some of the new monsters and things like that, and the use of different skills, if it's gonna have a actual difference on, if it's gonna have an impact on how you make your builds differently to deal with that. Now, if this is gonna make any change to the clear speed meta. I do like the variety in monsters here. So if you have enough sustain, you can ignore most of the mechanics. That's so far that is still the case. Okay, and that clears most of it. Hey, another ghost. Wow, that's 2 ghosts in an area. Oh, come on. Here, leech. And go. Yes, aha. Kill the ghost. And gave enough charges to actually go back here. Okay, so there's a door there, there's a dead end here, so there's only one way forward. Doesn't even say what it's called. Ah, this is just... we need to put the eye in. Okay, the Kurui Fortress. Is this already going to be the Tukohama fight, or is that going to be later? We will find out now. Ooh, it's nice and green here. Okay, so far so good. A little bit of a rocky start, but no, just relying more on puncture. These Karui are okay. It's level 46 area. We're at 48 by now. Let's see. Ah, and as before, it's a nice round area. If there's any kind of exit or something in the back, I probably should have had a look back in Act 1 to see if it's going to be different. That's a slightly sloppy mistake. But of course we can still rectify it, because, well, if we go back to Act 1, we should still be able to do the quest for the respec points. If and when we need them. But for now, I must admit I care more about completing Act 6 and potentially doing Act 7 rather than going back to Act 1 to see if there's maybe a hidden door or something. Okay, there's a herder. Okay, being surrounded doesn't really matter as long as we have enough enemies around us to actually leech from. That works for me. Okay. Okay, this seems like a small alcove on the side here. Exactly. So the Stipnite Flask, I think we got it in Act 5 as a quest reward somewhere. Definitely useful. For in these melee situations, just blinding the foes so they can't hit me, or only have a 50% chance of hitting me. Definitely helps to lessen their damage output. Okay, so archers definitely appearing in larger numbers now. Okay, and there's a door at the end. For completeness sake, let's also clear the other side. I think we made a decent start at it, but just in case they did hide something there. Tukohama's keep. Ah, that's actually in the middle between both sides. That's also interesting. So in that case, there is no pushing through. So there is more here. Interesting. Okay, that confuses me about the nature of Tukohama's keep. Thought it would be the connector. Oh, it's actually in the middle of the pond. Interesting. I was expecting this to be ending with Tukohama's keep, but yeah, of course. This is the way to exit and it is locked. So we need to defeat Tukohama for that. I was wondering if Tukohama would maybe be an optional boss, but in this case it seems to be like he's a required foe to best. So we're gonna have a We're gonna have a try at that. But first, might as well explore more of the area before we do the boss fight. Because exploring area after the boss fight, it always feels less interesting. And who knows, interesting things might have been hidden in this area. Okay, and this just leads back to where we started. Ah, another entrance into Tukohama's keep. Okay, so this just outlines that it's in the middle there, and this is just the entrance. Okay. Tukohama, let's do this.
Let me teach you the laws of war.
Okay. You seem angry. Okay, how much is he piercing resist here? That's maybe a good one to have an eye out for. Doesn't seem to be, it's just damage. Tukohama's Rage, Frenzy. Okay. Okay, let's just leave a totem there. Butcher that. That's another one. I have to say, I do enjoy these fights with all the small sub-objectives of taking out protective totems and things like that, rather than just the straight up fights. I thought I was outside of it, but I think I stood on the edge rather than next to the edge. Oh, slowly but surely. We are doing more damage here. Just have to make sure I don't get hit as much. Okay, you, get over here. The beam is the slowest part, so if you're just mobile, he follows. And that way, if you keep dictating where you're fighting, you're gonna do pretty well. And there we are. And there is Sin. Hello. I am Sin, thief of virtue, and it is mine to take what I will from the defeated, to make a gift of it to the victorious. Alas, your mortal frame cannot withstand the unfettered fire of deism, but turn your blood to mist and scorch your precious flesh black. So choose modestly and choose wisely, for there is much more at stake here than your little hopes and dreams. And this is how you unlock the Pantheon system. So, Sin is back. He presents himself as if he's new, even though we've already met him towards the end of Act 5. Also, if you highlight him, you see that there's a bit of a whitish glow around him. Funny. Okay, Pantheon system. That's of course the interesting thing. Requirements not met. That's for the 4 major gods. And then down here we have the minor gods, and here we have the soul of Tukohama. While stationary, gain 1% additional physical damage reduction each second, up to a maximum of 8%. That's pretty cool. While stationary, gain 0.5% of life regenerated per second, each second, up to a maximum of 2%. If you defeat Tori Towering Ancient, I think that was in the Martius tier 3 map, somewhere in the bottom left of the atlas, so actually pretty easy to achieve. And because we don't have anything, we can just click it and switch. I think once you pick something, you need to be in town to actually change them. And I think the hotkey for this was Y, so this is yet another key to learn and to bind, rather than another tab for this one. But sure, fine, whatever. And you can click Sin to open the Pantheon, so that also works rather well. But Tukohama lies dead. We now have divine powers. Or semi-divine powers. And we have an exit to open. So let's have a look if being deific is good enough, or if we need to go back. Hello there. And now we can go through. So the ridge allows open. And that is a waypoint, so that allows us to go back to town and have a bit of a look. Duckley, you have a reward. You've seen Nessa? Talk to her. That's more than I dare hope for, truth be told. This change she's going through, this curse the so-called Brine King has put on her. It can be broke, I know it. You've got to keep going, follow her trail before it gets any colder, for it leads you right to the Brine King himself. Okay. Can't honestly say that I even understand what you've just done. Vestal will be able to put our gratitude into words more fitting of a legend. Me, I'll work with what I know. Solid reward for a damn fine deed. And that is another skill point. Nice. So currently lightning resists are pretty rubbish. Just so happens that we can easily get 12% to lightning resist. So for now we'll just put points there to try to even the odds, or at least to balance out our resist as soon as possible. We'll refund that later and spend it towards more useful places.
Greetings.
See, while we are here, might as well empty our pockets. And these are all the kinds of items that we're not actually interested in using. Is it? No, indeed. Not the kinds of items I'm interested in using. 102 life? Wow, that's quite a lot. I only have life on my current helmet, you say. Downside is this is an evasion helmet and the other one is a hybrid, so getting 4 red ones to roll on it is gonna be tough. Okay, you know what? We'll put it away because I'm tempted. But that's gonna be pretty expensive to re-roll. So for now we'll just put it away and see if nothing better comes by. Then we might consider it at some point. For now, we did defeat a god. A minor god, but a god nonetheless. So let's go forward. We're now on the ridge. It sounds like a ledge, but it's different. It's the other side of the mountain, I suspect. No, the ledge is more coastal, this is more inland. It reminds me of a map. Name eludes me, but this very much looks like a specific map. Could it be actually called the Ridge? Might be. Hello, Broken Man. Blade Vortex. Do anything else? Okay. Ethereal Knives. Also, it inflicts bleeding. That's gonna be annoying. But a couple hits and it falls over, so that's alright. Infested Serpent, so that's more chaos damage. The other one has a bit more bleeding damage. Yeah, this is definitely going into interesting places. No damage over time, some more ailments. I would love it if fights with rares would actually be mini-boss events. Not even just the uniques, but well, even just the random rares, if they would be on par with mini-bosses. I think that's the way forward, given that there's something there as well. This is probably a side area. Being new to the map, those things are difficult to gauge where we have to go. But still, playing this to learn the new rules of the land. How the levels are designed. And all those things. Let's see, armor crab. And you, Skitter. On the way to the side, so we'll just keep pushing down. Hey, hello there with your elemental reflect. I'm not entirely impressed. Don't really do a lot of elemental damage, so it's okay. Where's Amulet? Might be good. 50% chaos resist. That's not quite bad. Must admit, I've already seen more chaos resistance on random items than I used to see in entire playthroughs up until maps. So I wonder if the internal rarity of chaos resistance has been adjusted a little bit to appear a bit more often. Would be nice. And would also make it a bit easier to compensate for chaos resistance and also for the devs to actually put more chaos damage in the game in general and to make it a proper resistance that you have to account for rather than something to be ignored or feared. Elrion. Buddy. So you were in Oriath as well. Are you stalking me? Fist reflect. I think we have enough leech and sustain that it's not really going to be an issue. Exactly. Okay. And just simply defend the relic. And good evening, Carnival. How are you doing? Okay, come on. Yo. Yes. So annoying when all these spawn points just hang up because there's just one silly zombie being a slowpoke. Okay, next stage. They got some fire mages. Fortunately, they don't come to us, so we have to come to them. Send for you and send for you. And cleansed. Excellent. So, leveled some support gems. That is also nice. Okay. So that would seem to lead back, and this is the end. Okay, so in terms of design, you just go to one end and then you just double back towards the other side. That seems pretty straightforward. This looks like you can jump down there, but unfortunately we can't. Also, this almost seems like it's now an inner bit rather than an external bit. We'll see. But, ooh, hello there, lower prison. Okay, if this is a prison, that means a bit back was a side area. Let's investigate it, because we're not too far away, and I'm actually curious to see what they were hiding there. The prison is gonna be interesting. Used to be guarded by the warden. Now we're gonna go look for Shavronne. Seen spoilers, of course, so sorta kinda know what to expect. But there's a difference between having seen some spoilers and actually having done a fight. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Aha, and a level up. No temp change, 49. So now we're 3 levels over leveled. That is good. So we're still lacking lightning resists. Yeah, I think we'll need to make the rest up with gear. So for now, let's have a look. I think we can squeeze out a little bit of resist over here. Also gets us a bit more armor. Yeah, okay, gets us a bit closer. Also overcaps our resist a little bit there. And then I think next up is going to be to complete armor mastery. Just to get that armor up, get a little bit more life regen. And then maybe start working a little bit on boosting that poison damage. Because, well, I do want to see if we boost the poison a bit further, if it's going to become more... but it's going to be a fun mechanic to play with. That's basically the best way to look at it. Okay. And there's another small corridor. So where does this lead to? Or is it just simply some weird side branches? Yeah, it's just going nowhere. Okay, odd. Definitely odd. Just goes into the point and then it goes back. There's no boss there because the boss was actually out here on the ledge or on the ridge. I'm sorry. So I don't know. I don't quite get how or why. Maybe we're missing something here. But if this is always going to be the case, then no, you can simply just stick to the edge, ignore the side bits, and you're going to be in the lower prison in no time. Which also has its own charm. And we're entering the prison via the roof, which is also interesting. And then there's a stay down. Okay, 47 area with a waypoint. Okay. Contrary to the first time we go in here in normal, don't get a skill bonus, and there's a bunch of enemies here. Let's see what they have to do, because we haven't seen the undead yet, and this is a walking cage. That's new. Instantly get to see the rare version, so it actually lasts a bit longer. So take the other things away and just have a bit of a look. Okay, if you're not burning and on poison, how do you look? There's just a bunch of skeletons in there, with the legs sticking out. The damage of the thing against the golem doesn't appear to be all that strong. So let's make it bleed, and then we make it poison. Do have a bunch of life, also life regen, that does make things last a bit longer. And there we are. Okay, this one goes down pretty quickly and the damage is mostly ignorable. Okay, well, I say ignorable, but of course you're getting massive amounts of life here in the fights, so calling it ignorable is maybe a little unfair, because we can sustain through it. That's maybe a better way to put it. Because the amount of damage that the Kuri were doing outside definitely was not ignorable. And yet eventually figured out that I could sustain through that as well. But it almost seems like these rattling condemned have taken the place of the necromancers. That's the similar pack structure that I'm seeing. Ooh. 200 swords. A rare sword. Less physical damage, boatload of elemental damage. I don't care about elemental damage on this build, unfortunately. And we would lose a fair chunk of fire resist, so this is actually a downgrade, but we can sell it, so that's good. Let's see. Traveled through the prison's gate to the graveyard, and somewhere in here we have to kill Shavronne. Also, corrupted side area. Let's see what they've done with this. Chances are they've just recycled the normal Act 1 prison connected areas. And I say that and I instantly get flashbacks to the cells map with these things on the floor. Let's see who the boss is going to be. So the duration of bleeding and of fortify is roughly the same. So puncture and applies the fortify, and it also applies bleeding. So good trick to remember here is as long as your fortify is up, things around you are still bleeding. if Fortify is down, then they're no longer bleeding, so they need to reapply it. So especially playing with Bloodlust on Viper Strike, that is an interesting thing to keep an eye out for, to manage your timers when you actually have the bonus damage from the bleeding up or not. That is, of course, assuming that the things you're attacking are also the things that you used your Fortify against in the first place. Let me have that one, please. It's always nice to play Shrouded. They can't hit you, they can't hurt you. Let's see. There's a book, and usually a book means a boss. Who is it gonna be? Ooh, Cornelia, Shadow of Malice. That is a classic. Does a lot of damage. It's been known to haunt these places. Definitely does quite some damage, but we managed to get through. It's the shocking ground that does, of course, make you take more damage. That is the tricky bit. But again, we can sustain through it, so that's alright. If regular mobs start applying shock regularly as well, then actually having shock removal on a flask becomes important. Until then, something to be aware of in boss fights. Okay, let's just get into the group. Okay. But so far these Rattling Condemned, they look nice, but they aren't really all that scary. Get one isolated. Let's see if we can just stand next to it and let's let it do damage. Hey, Necromancer! Cast flammability, raises the undead, bonus energy shield. Sure, fine. Rattling Condemned. Well, it does have quite some swords in its hand. But no, even the spin to win, it doesn't use it all that often. It does maybe like 200 damage at the strongest. Yeah, maybe if you're a caster that hurts. Of course, I do have a fair chunk of armor. I mean, if 200 points of damage came through, then it could have been a bit stronger in the beginning. Okay, there's a lot of stuff happening here. Mark of Cannibalism, but that's just the zombies. Okay. Ah, also one of these big guys. Okay, big life pool with Mark of Cannibalism. That might be interesting. Okay, turns out not as interesting as I expected it to be. Let's see, there's a door, but I think I saw a lore bit, didn't I? No, I just imagined the lore bit. Oh, that was the shrine that I saw. Okay. Okay, another cage, bronze plate. And then the exits. So that's gonna take us to Shavronne. Shavronne's tower. That seems good. Level 47 area. More cages, Thunder Guardians, that's lightning damage. Lightning is our weak spot. Wow, weak spot, weak spot. 56% without the endurance charges. With endurance charges, of course, we have 12% more. That takes us to 68. That means we can actually resist quite a bit. But Yeah, if they then cast conductivity on me, of course I lose quite some resists. Interesting. But so far, so good. Okay, another door over there, that's interesting. Ah, stairs. This is like the tower map. Okay. Fair. Completely fair. I seem to remember the boss of the tower map being Cole, and here definitely looking for Shavronne. And a little extra surprise. Well, as long as we keep our fortify up and keep our endurance charges up, we got a fair chunk of mitigation, so it doesn't really matter what she's gonna throw at us. We ought to be ready. Okay, another big one. Extra life, regen, accurate and resist lightning. Let's take out some of the add-ons. Just to make it a bit easier to deal with this fella. Well, not even sure if it's a fella, because it's a cage. This thing. Okay, that's just a thing we can't actually jump. This is similar to the tower map, and at some point we'll have to go into the middle to climb the actual ladder up. I do like how they've brought in bits and pieces of some of the maps and some of the regular content in order to make Act 6. Now it feels familiar, yet it's different enough that, well, it is something different. It's not like, hey, we're playing through Act 1 again. Because it is, yeah, plenty different. Okay, there's another door here. Nothing to see. Okay, couple more skellies. What's over there? More skellies. Okay, definitely having some issues with mana again. But of course, mana flask fixes all the things. Ooh, that's potentially a new item, a new armor to use. From 46, 4 socketed. And I think we did get some orbs of alchemy and a 5-linked bow. Unfortunately, it's worthless. It's nice that it dropped as a 5-link, but I'm not gonna play a bow character. I don't intend to play a bow character. So we'll just leave that be. Otherwise, all we're gonna get from it is an armor scrap. Hello, you spin to win, cyclone. Cage. Just double checking the corners here. No, that's just a dead end corner. Okay, and then in the edge over here. We're gonna find the exit though. Yeah, see, it has already been revealed. I so love how you can actually see much further than what has been revealed. It's about a screen or two away. What you can see. So nice. Also, did I see a topaz ring there? 25%. Sure, but it is a topaz ring. Might be able to enchant it at some point. For now, let's see if we can pick a fight with Shavronne of Umbra, who's been known to do lightning damage. Well, my lightning damage is not maxed out. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, I'm definitely getting very strong vibes back to the tower map. Okay. But we're going at it counterclockwise. Or clockwise instead of counterclockwise. Okay. I'm fine with that. Also, let's remove curses. Ooh, basalt flask. Okay, 47 area still. So we're over leveled a bit, but we're under geared, so that balances. At some point it does become almost a challenge, like to see just how far you can push things if you're not really properly geared, just to see what you can get away with. And no, especially because I always play on hardcore, I always tend to lean towards the side of caution and towards over leveling, over gearing, things like that. Now, of course, because I don't have that, and well, I haven't really been all that lucky in terms of finding upgraded gear or currency to craft things. Just seeing what I can get away with is actually a fun exercise in and of itself. Okay. Bow users lining up to shoot me. Smart tactic. Not fun to be on the receiving end of. Magic mobs plus 3 levels. Sure, that's also fine. Okay, let's not get cursed, shall we? It's getting a little hectic here. Oh, that was molten shell and custom damage taken. Okay, cool. For a moment I accidentally over leveled it, but of course it's back on autocast. Golem also went along. Nice. So we need to take 900 damage for the autocast to trigger, which is fine. That's about half of what we've got. So I found that if you keep things just at the leveling curve, the cost per damage taken, it sort of kind of roughly trails half of your life if you're playing a decent life build. So that's actually a good signal. If the cast per damage trigger life threshold goes above half of your life, that's a sign you need more life. Probably the closest we've got to an actual official life curve. Also, there is a door there that I completely overlook it. The way up, that is. Well, there's more in the corner there. No, this is just ornamental. Okay. Interesting change. Ah, we could have just gone through. Okay, stairs. Next area. So it's sort of like the tower map, but it's different enough that in terms of navigation is confusing as heck. Or maybe I just haven't played the tower map in long enough time. That's also possible. If you're comparing it to a misremembered version of a map, then you're gonna get confused. In this case, Wowblades, be gone. Thank you. More life gain on hit, and finally, the way forward makes itself known. Well, we're close to leveling. So I think we're just gonna kill a couple more skeletons in order to get that last level, to hit level 50, before going after Shavronne. Also, let's not get hit by the flammability there, or by the flame bearers. Come on, I need foes, I need enemies, I want a level. Okay, there's 2 whole more skeletons. Another group, yes. Please, get around, get around. So close, 2 more %, and we're back to where we were, but luckily, a couple more mobs are waiting. 99%, ah. So close. Oh. Interesting things like that happen. Then we're just gonna go into the fight and with a bit of luck we might level during the fight if there's some add-on mobs or something that give XP. Do I have anything that I want to grab? Yeah, Armor Mastery. That's the pretty obvious one. So let's go. Shavronne of Umbra. Hello.
Not you! Upon my life and my work, I shall not suffer this humiliation again!
I don't think she likes me. Also... Ooh, he looks angry. Reassembled Brutus! That looks cool. Okay, let's get our endurance charges up. Also keep in mind, if you stand still in place, we build up physical damage mitigation, virtue of having defeated Tukohama. So stand and fight might actually be the strategy for this fight, at least for us. Okay, switcheroo. The lady that does lightning damage. Not a big fan. So far, we're doing pretty decent.
Let me beautify you!
Oh! Okay, this storm looks like we can murder it. Oh. Brutus? Looking a little blue today. Okay, that was a reasonably telegraphed slam attack. Leaves a bit of a lasting impression on the terrain. But we went through rather nicely. Ah, that was fun. Sin, what do you have to say about this? And so it begins. My ethereal veins now run with dark ambition. Let's turn that trickle into a torrent. Let's harvest ourselves, our Grand Inquisitor. Just as Shavronne's spirit chose to return to comfortable climes, Malagaro's essence once again dwells in his very own chamber of sins. Though I hasten to add that Malagaro's sins are not my sins. I prefer transgressions of a more natural order than he does. I'd carry you to Frisia if I could, yet I expended too much of myself when I snatched you from the jaws of Kitava. You will need to find your own path, as will I. Make the journey, and please survive it. We too have much work left to do. Okay. So in the Pantheon, I don't think Shavronne counts as a god. Nope. So it was just a chance encounter, but we haven't enriched the Pantheon here. So armor mastery, let's see, 62%, 65%. Well, percentages are a bit of a false indication, so do be careful with that. But we can now go back to town and have a chat with Tarkley. Good work clearing another patch through Axiom Prison. I'm starting to think those stories I've heard about you might be true. Only the good stories are true. Let's see, siege, helmet and the fencer helm fully linked. We'll make space and then do it again. With the road to Fresian Forest clear again, I trekked through the forest beyond to see if the strangeness we are seeing on the coast is also happening inland. What I saw nearly froze my heart solid. The animals there, poor wretches, overtaken by some sort of parasite. As close as I can reckon, they're like termites, burrowing into flesh and mind instead of wood. If I'm right, there'll be a nest somewhere, and a queen. If you can find it, destroy it. Those parasites aren't something we want to see around here anytime soon. Okay, the Puppet Mistress. That is also one of the fights that has been rumored, announced, spoiled. Insert correct word here. Let's have a look. I think there was something useful. Yeah, worm scale. We could potentially use that. Okay. Vestal, what do you have to say? Who'd have thought those bleeding bastards would go and find religion, eh? Now, there's nothing quite so sure to spoil a man's appetite than an ecclesiastical debate come supper time. Yet this goatman god, this Abberath, he seems fairly determined to mix his morsels with his spiritual enlightenments. To put no finer point on it, when the goatmen find him a soft pink human, or two, as divine sacrifice, he eats them. Meat, soul and all. Well, that's what the legends say. Perhaps you should go and see if you can put an end to the bugger, for peace and mind and all that. Okay, so, side quest, look for Abberath. Also one of the quests that has been spoiled. So still nothing extra for sale, but of course we do have Lily for the gems. Let's see. This was for the potentially useful bucket, I believe. This is the actual useful bucket. Potentially useful. Basalt flask. Well, let's just keep that there. Worm skull armor. We might as well see if we can try to roll something out of it. We do have some orbs and some other useful things now. Oh, before I make the... Wait, where did Lily come from? Didn't she wait on the ship before? Oh, by the way, I'm not complaining. Nessa's old place, Nessa's old function, but better.
Welcome.
That's good. Before I make the mistake of trying to upgrade an item and then only finding that there's a 5 linked version for sale in the shop, let's have a quick look here. No 5 linked items here. And no 5 linked items here either. So, phew, a bit of comfort in that. So let's see if we can upgrade the worm scale to something better. What did we need from this? Cold resist and lightning resist. We could do with a little bit more lightning. We can guarantee 18 to 20 degree cold. That's the upper end. That's going to be the same here. This is not going to be resists. And we are overcapped on cold, so we can actually stand to lose something. If only we gain some extra lightning to go with it. So it's not a lot to lose, a lot to gain. Let's try. Okay, we did roll 4% chance to dodge attacks. Which is nice, but not quite what we were going for here. And we didn't get any lightning resist on there. That's unfortunate. That's also we didn't get any life. That's maybe more damning. So for now, we'll just sell it and we'll find something better. We've been managing to pull through with pretty rubbish gear for a pretty long time. Might as well continue that trend for a while longer. The question becomes, travel through Prisoner's Gate to the ship graveyard and search for Nessa. Ah, yes. We've been there before. And as before, we can't go back in. Okay. Defeat the Puppet Mistress. This is the... yeah, gonna be in this area. Okay. So let's see what kind of new goats we've received here? Show me. Molten shell. Okay, this one seems to be just classically fire aligned rather than cold or lightning aligned. It's nice. Parasite plate, we can sell that. Hey, Hellions. They seem to be like the fire dogs, but they don't quite burn into fire. Instead, they leave poison behind. Aha! Actually, some foes that are poisonous. Vicious parasites. Well, luckily they're not possessing me, I hope. That will be awkward. Now, getting possessed by one of those things would just turn your character into an NPC. That would be pretty horrible. And from there on out, all you can do is just watch until some other exile comes by and puts you out of your misery. That would be an awkward way to end your character. Would be creative, of course, but would be a bit awkward. Okay, more goats. Well, it is nice that a bit more things like poison are getting used here. That does add some more value to actually investing in chaos resistance, rather than just ignoring the stat. Ooh, there's a lot of them. Well, just jump in. It's okay. Got plenty of mana to keep hitting all of you. So this is the path to the side. Okay. Yeah, because from here on out, of course, we have connection to the forest, assuming it's not closed, and we have a connection to the graveyard. So there's a little bit of a fork in the road here. Okay. Valley of the Fire Drinker. We just found ourselves an Abberath. So, let's see. Defeat Abberath. Okay, he's not getting around, he just instantly gets into battle. No chit chat, no taunting. Just action. Okay. Oi, you with your fire bubble. Abberath's elite. Okay, there's a lot of fire damage coming in here. Also some AoE and some large fire pools. So the meteor is pretty well telegraphed, has a clear marker on the floor. And even if you get hit, that max resist is like 300 or 400 damage. Ooh. The pools, on the other hand, are a bit more dangerous. Explosions have markers that appear just before they hit, and it moves from one side to the other, so that seems something you can go through. And now we know, of course, Cloven Pass. Fight some goats, get some more flask charges, and then you can go back into the fight. Also, don't get hit. How much does this hurt? Not a lot. This is more cosmetic damage than actual damage. Okay. I think so far the Tukohama fight has been the most straightforward of all of them, and that already had, well, that actually had the phase with the shielding, so that was also a multi-phased fight. Okay, make him bleed. Oh, let's get out. Maybe I should try to consciously tank some of those meteors just to see how painful they are. But there's a lot of stuff happening here. The stand and fight approach is slightly less appealing that way. Okay, now I'm standing in the middle of the puddle of fire and sustaining through it. Okay. Also, once I run out of mana, then it's a bit difficult to try and sustain. Okay. Well, if you're a relatively tanky character, then this fight is pretty easy. Because I'm doing some things that you definitely should not be doing on the hardcore character here, just to see if I can. And then, of course, in the end, I get hit. But as I say, I'm really pushing it just to see how far I can push it. And that's always the irony, of course, in dying. When you're talking about that you're not dying. Oh, maybe also just reapply auras. But yeah. That notwithstanding, Abberath is gone. Ooh. I recognize these gauntlets. Worm sign. Socketed with level 5 concentrated effects. Extra armor and evasion. Extra life. Reduce mana cost per endurance charge. Gain rampage while at maximum endurance charges. Lose all endurance charges when rampage ends. Ah yeah, it was the counterpart to the other one that also had a rampage team. That was much more fun, but I think that was more of a shadow item rather than a duelist item. But at least we found another unique, that's okay. Sin, what do you have to say? Good souls are hard enough to come by without that unquenchable old goat drinking his fill. You've done humanity a noble service. And that unlocked the Soul of Abberath. 5% reduced fire damage taken while moving. If you defeat the Lord of the Ashen Arrow, that's going to be the Ashen Woods, tier 7 or 8 map somewhere in the top left. Then you get a 25% chance for cold damage and lightning damage to be taken as fire damage when hit. So if you are efficient at taking fire damage, and the Soul of Abberath already gets you 5% reduced damage taken for fire, then that is going to be a small bonus. But I can imagine Soul of Abberath on a Righteous Fire build, then taking the cold and lightning damage as fire, which you will be resisting through the bazoo, is going to be pretty cool. Oh, you can actually just move it at will. I think that before you could only do it in town, that's what the initial announce said, but here you can actually just move it around, so that's cool. But Abberath is now dead. We can go back to Prisoner's Gate. And actually, let's go back to Bestel and have a chat, because he wanted Abberath to be killed. Oh wait, I feel a poem coming on. Through the bleeding flock our exile did wait, over hoof and horn and goat blood sprayed, until at last an audience with old King Billy, or the Cloven One, or Abberath, and other names just as silly. Dine with me, friend, old Billy did growl. Feed me your soul, feed me it now! Our exile just smiled and gutted the goat, so that not one more soul would get stuffed down this old throat. Honestly, you wouldn't believe how hard it is to find a good rhyme for goat, exile. Here, for your troubles, and for kindly listening to my poem. 1 whole skill point. Ta-da! Okay. So, lightning is still a thing. We did pick up the easy bits. We'll just have to fix the resist with gear from now on. Our chance to hit, just double check that, 93%, still good. So no real urge to rush towards resolute technique yet. It's a couple more resists, but it's mostly fire focused. Getting a bit more life to build up a little bit more of a life pool to sustain things could be useful. Let's see, most efficient way to go about it, probably to head towards Bloodless. Hey, actually, wait, we don't need these points if we just go via the bottom here. That connects everything. Yeah, so next up is going to be Bloodless, and then we're just going to walk past the outer edges of the map to pick up more life here at Juggernaut. And that should help us sustain for a while. So,
Welcome.
What do you have to sell? Did gain a level, so inventory got reset. It's 4 sockets, but that's the wrong base. Again, nothing truly exciting. But we are slowly getting to the point where I can no longer compensate for lack of player skill with being overgeared. So there is that. How the heck did I get 5 energy shield on this? Because +4 maximum energy shield. Okay. This is not going to be an upgrade. Okay, boom. Just sell it, stash it, stuff it away. And then we can move forward. Worm sign, just going to be another item to stuff away. Let's see. Prisoner's Gate. Let's see, the Puppet Mistress was here. Just asked for it, but a little unspecific about where, at least I don't remember it. That's maybe a better way to put it. But given the fact that there's the parasites here and that the objective is here, seems like we just have to be in this actual area. So another boss fight coming in soonish. Here also the Obelisk, one of my least favorite kinds of mods though. The sparkly things, it's okay. Those are not too damaging, so they're okay. It's the lightning warp ones, those I really don't like. They are just way too dangerous. Okay, more Hellions, more goats. Okay. Yeah, because we have the side path that will lead us to the ship graveyard, so then the Mistress of Puppets is likely going to be here, and ooh, look. It's the Western Forest. So that is the way forward. Interestingly, then the ship graveyard might be connected on another side. Hey, little blackguards. And people with antler helmets, stag acolytes. Okay. And Raptured Arachnid of Anger. Boar acolytes. And more vicious parasites. Ah, the Puppet Mistress is actually moving on ahead. Maybe there's gonna be a different way to get to the ship graveyard, because of course those things have been rearranged a little bit. Ah, you're just charging behind, past me, you boars. Okay, this leads back quite a bit. Okay, just a small little side area. And there is a corrupted area up top. What's in it? Place of elemental equilibrium. Monsters deal extra damage is cold. Sure. We're maxed out against cold. I think we can handle that. Serpentine constructs. What's the level here? 49. We passed that a little while ago. So currently at level 50. So again, we're not completely outclassed here, so that's alright. Okay, yes, those guys, croaking chimerals. So far, doing the tanking pretty well here. Our life is up to 1826. Seem to remember I lowered it down to 1700 or so for a while ago. Also, who is the boss here? Okay, I had to ask, didn't I? You are Kamak, the soil maker. What? Right there. Poison, man. Poison. It works even underground. We get a Val Cold Snap for our troubles. Yeah, look, so far I'm pretty happy with the build, or at least what passes for a build. It's mostly a work in progress, journey of discovery. Hello there, Ironbiter. Goodbye, Ironbiter. And I was gonna say let's stick to the left hand wall, and then it more or less seems to end. I'm wondering how much longer Act 6 is gonna be. I've been streaming for a good 2 hours now. And I gotta suspect now the Brutus and Shavronne fight was the halfway point. But we now got the Puppet Misters to go, and after that the only objective that currently still stands is to actually look for Nessa and probably find her with the Brine King. So what would it be? Another good half hour? Maybe. Okay, we're actually getting multiple stacks of poison damage on us now. That's also interesting. So if you're not playing a build that has a lot of life regeneration, then no, poison removal might actually be something that is now worth bringing along. Alira's Dearest. Did we kill Alira? I seem to remember killing Alira. Okay, So all they have is the Dearest, but not the Alira herself. And then it's okay. Also, we did get a jewel, staves, elemental skills, projectile damage, nothing we can use. A little unfortunate, but c'est la vie. And a strong box. What's in the box? A rogue exile, 2 additional items, magic monsters, and it explodes. Let's just take a step back then. Yeah, exile with the Seed Ballistas, Atlanta, and yeah, also teleportal bow things. You are moving, so that makes you real. Love that rule. You're moving, that makes you real. Also hiding behind the box, that's just cheating. In the end, we got through. We got ancient gauntlets with 4 sockets. And I so like the clone that we get from the Word of Reflection. Might actually be something that I'm gonna hope for finding in the future on rolls. Let's see, the riverways. Okay. Nothing here besides the Alira camp. Okay, spider forest. Yeah. Is there anything spider forest-y? Oh, and a proclamation. Is that still the same? Can have a look. Probably is, but just to double check.
We, the Court of Reckoning, find you, Doedri Stamatis.
So nobody has mucked with that. The proclamation is still a proclamation. And my goal was to see, is there anything in this spider forest? Is there a spider lair or something along those lines, for example? Or has it been closed up for some reason? Well, at least it's now populated by acolytes rather than spiders, and I say that as I walk into a big cluster of spiders. Sure. But this has been closed off. It's more of a hatchery, lots of eggs there. But at least it's now no longer an accessible area. So that's okay. Means we can move forward. Might be that there's a guaranteed unique in the area. We missed it. Might also be that there's nothing there. Okay. Mistress of Puppets. Over there also. Oh, Western Forest at a waypoint. Of course. There was a waypoint there before, so there should be one again. So let's actually grab that one. We were so close as well. Exactly. If we're here anyway, might as well just walk the road. Get a couple of flask charges. Make it a bit easier to push back up. And some spiders. Okay, back into the riverways we go. So before all of this was Act 2, now it just gets dragged into Act 6. They do blur the lines a little bit between spaces. And for a side quest, this is a rather long walk. Though, of course, it might be that if you can't go to town, then we can go into the southern forest maybe, and then from there head into the Merville's cave, and from there head into the graveyard. I'll take the other way around. Seem to remember there was something up with that. Okay, at least we found another waypoint. That is good. And then there is the hard to see path that leads us to the exit, and now the exit is a little better telegraphed because the exit shows up a screen away. Oh, this looks like a dead land. Lots of parasites. Level 48 area. Wait, we actually went down a level? Oh no, it's all 48. Okay. Ah, the corrupted area was +1. That's why it was a 49er. Okay. Well, yeah, definitely the... No. Act 5, Act 6. Probably the areas after this as well. The leveling curve is definitely a lot flatter. Because in the end, now you end Act 4 at level 40. And we need to be at roughly level 68 by the end of Act 10. So a lot of areas with the same area level. So yeah, your gear is going to get outdated a lot less quickly. This used to be the waypoint. Someone broke it. Wonder if the queen is somewhere near Oak's old hunting ground. Hello there, Festival. Also, there's no bandits coming out of the camps. Ooh, lots of parasites. So easy to get flask charges that way. Worldly and a rare in between somewhere. Okay. Just gonna zig and zag through until we find the puppet mistress. Don't think it's a god, just a side quest boss. But of course, can still be an interesting fight. I think it was very recently announced. The spawning grounds, yes, that sounds like a boss arena. Oh wow. That's a lot of green. Birth Ursa. Okay. Vicious parasites. Okay, there is some poison. There's a caustic cloud effect going on. And there is Risala's nest. Rislava's nest. Okay, that's one. There's another one. Just spawning pits of monsters. So if you just have some AoE damage and if you got some reasonable sustain, then I think you should be fine. I'm building up some poison stacks against me, but well, either you get poison removal or you just out regen it. Okay, more things coming in. Let's see, does anything get spawned again down here? Definitely seems to be a little less straightforward. Ah, now there's a nest here. So, on the other hand, no, less straightforward. It just means there's more uncertainty and there's just more looking around, waiting for the actual boss to appear. Aha! Rislava, the puppet mistress. Okay, let's just get you out into the open here rather than in the doorway. Makes it a little easier to navigate. Also, that looks icky. Looks very much like chaos damage. Also, there's quite some stacks of poison damage on me. Right, you don't really feel like moving. In that case, I'll just get over to you. What's this? Infested. Parasites burst from your body and drain your flask charges. What? That's evil. Man. So, poison, flask charge draining and damage? That's quite some. Make you bleed, make you poison. And lots of parasites to gain life from. And gain flask charges from. It works two ways. As you might have some kind of flask charges sapping aura, but if you just keep killing parasites, then we're gonna be fine. And Rislata is no more. Also, inventory space is no more. Sin, what do you have to say? The Asmeri believed that, one day, this world of ours would collapse under the weight of Rislava's offspring. Frightening thought, and thankfully, a mistaken one. And Rislava was actually a god. Life flasks gain 3 charges every 3 seconds if you haven't used a life flask recently. Okay, so that means life flasks keep basically always stay full. There is an upside to that. 60% increased life recovery from flasks consumed on low life. That is also interesting. If you combine that with Panicked, then you get instant healing and you get 60% increased life recovery. That seems even better. So, no, if you like using life flask, or you always have the issue that life flasks run low, switching in the soul of Rislava is definitely going to make life easy for you. Yeah, let's empty your pockets. Have a look at chat. No targets. We of course can't identify things that can't be identified. Let's see. This is not useful. Not useful. Not really that great. On the other hand, I don't think we actually have had good gloves yet. But we're actually losing a lightning resistance, ironically enough. We gain life, we gain cold rest, we gain lightning rest. So actually this is, as far as poor gloves go, this is not entirely bad. So well, let's keep it, though. I'm very, very attached to this word of reflection now. Just because it's so much fun. Lightning resistance and intellect, that is also rather valuable. And for now, let's just hang on to it. Might actually do something with it later. Just stash everything and then go back before the portal closes. Dr. Tarkley. What do you have for me, Tarkley? Another damn god, you say? Yeah, that figures. Primitive deity from a primitive time, crumbling up out of the dirt with a view to enslaving us all with his creepy bloody offspring. Think what we could all do without gods like that. So yeah, take something for the road ahead. The way things are going, it'll be a tough one. Another skill point. I definitely approve. Yeah, we were on our way to Bloodless just to increase the good old life pool a little bit. But we also only have one more quest remaining, and that is to look for Nessa. After picking up my loot, of course. Hey, did I forget to pick up my reward for the Essence of Umbra quest? What? What? Oh yeah, I had a full inventory. I completely forgot about it.
Still alive, are we?
Shavronne rewards. Fencer helm. Is it good? Is it any good? Accuracy, armor, evasion, rarity, cold res, and standard blocking recovery. So that's a whole mouthful. A lot of hybrid things, but no life. And also cold res. Sure, I'm already overcapped, so I don't strictly need it. I think I can use the life better right now. So that's a little unfortunate. On the other hand, now this looks like there's 6 mod on here, but I think the armor and evasion is together is 1, so this one has a prefix open, so we can actually craft something on there. Let's actually have a quick look. I think I sent Haku over here. Exactly. Yeah, put that one down there. And just to double check, indeed it still has an open prefix. So we can actually craft some life on here, and then it is actually gonna be better than what we had before. Also, yeah, so the very first tiers of craftables are not terribly great. There's also no hybrid mods yet, but we'll see. 42 life, that's 7 less life, but we gain more armor and evasion and resist and other things. Sure, sign me up. This is all cast and damage taken, Herald of Ash. I don't think I can link it to that, so relatively alright. On the other hand, maybe I should just move some things around. But we have 2 items that we can just sell. Like that. Now, if we're gonna go into the Brine King fight, being overcapped on cold resist might actually be slightly useful, because I have no idea if the guy is gonna lower our resistances or not. This is simply gonna be an improvement. Yeah, because this is pure strength, steel ice gauntlets, so we can actually just swap the colors around. That's alright. So just let's see, stone golem, molten shell, and cast some damage taken. That's the link here. Herald of Ash is just a innocent bystander. And let's see, so if we just move Puncture over there, we can just link everything back to it. I don't think I can link an aura with cast and damage taken. Good, good, good. No, it is over leveled, but we'll see. Yeah, and change this one into 4 times red, exactly like that. And then we add those things back, and we recast our auras because we removed them. Temporal chains was still there. Okay. Oh, also, I'm not gonna spend 20 armor scraps on a mid-tier leveling item. That's too bad. We'll just keep that one. So, cold resist 113. Even if it gets lowered by 38 points, we still are good. So that's gonna help a bit. Anything else that we could maybe mastercraft? Ooh, maybe some lightning on the Blessed Font. That would not be too bad. Don't have a higher tier yet, so we'll just settle for 18 lightning. But it does get us to 74%, which is nearly perfect, so I'm happy. And then we can move forward. Ah, new instance of the riverways, but that's alright. See if we can just follow the road for a change. And have a look at the forest encampment. I seem to remember that it was closed now, so we would have to take a different direction to the ship graveyard. But of course, it's nice to see rather than to remember. Lots of infested apes, so that's more poison, more chaos damage. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oi, you. You stand there at a distance and you shoot me. I don't like that. Ah. Couldn't click it because the thing attached to the red health bar was just a really tiny parasite and they are just annoying to click. Okay, now 48 area, I'm 50, nearly 51. Actually nearly 51, that means leveling once maybe before the Brine King fights would be useful. On the other hand, no, dinging after killing a major boss is no bonus style points. I do appreciate some style points from time to time. Okay, tempo chains are getting better. Also, range is slowly increasing. Hey, the animal pack. That is a new named one. So things are getting rather hectic here. Also, with those palisade wall things, looks like we're getting close to town. And we dinged by killing the pack leader. That's fine. Alright, there's another one. This is a bow, shield and sword kind of guy. The other one was a bow user. Well, it's nice and chaotic as usual. But luckily, the way forward is relatively self-explanatory. One more life point takes us to nearly 1900 life. So I think the Bloodlust is going to get us to 2000. That might just push us over the edge. Right, so indeed, first encampments. I don't think they like strangers very much. So let's look for another way through. Okay, water, ocean, sun, forest. And again, another area that we're just walking in the other direction. Lots of boar acolytes, stag acolytes. We've only been gone for a relatively short while. And they managed to drum up so many people to actually become acolytes here. I wonder if it truly was just a short while that we were gone, because it seems like years. And if you want to get that many people around here, right? Okay, parasites are still all over the place. No, as poisonous little creatures, they are of course nice to just throw in and just have some chaos trying to double back a little bit just to get at least a sense that we cleared most of it. Haha, getting surrounded with this build. So nice. Please, keep my life bubble filled. I am so thankful. And there we go. Okay, Fist Reflect. Might as well have a bit of a look there to see if Fist Reflect is an issue now. Nope, still not. So that's pretty good. Ooh. You are Hollow Skull, the willing host. He seems to be a bit possessed by parasites. Lots and lots and lots and then lots more parasites. Also, Angry Monkey. Wow. Okay. Good thing is we can tank through it. That's alright. No problemo. With that, I think that was the main attraction of this area. Obviously, one area, one unique boss. It's kind of the deal. Also, did I see a ghost there flee? Yep, I saw. Ooh, and a waypoint. Convenient. And it got away. Sliver of health, but it got away. And then waypoints, waypoint. Cavern of Anger. Again, just entering from the other side here. A flag chest.
The Brine King. His time has almost come. Then hope will be... I will be gone. Please, take the black flag. It once fluttered from the mast of the Black Crest, Whalem Roth's ship. Throw it into the flames of the beacon. It's your only chance of reaching me, of turning this tide. The king can't keep secrets like this from me any longer. It's just the way of things. Find me, please, before...
And splush, Mervale goes back into the water. The black flag. May the lubbers feel fear in their nethers, and may our bladders follow. Wrathtooth's rallying cry. Okay. Bring the flag to the... Oh, wow. This looks cool. This looks cool. Okay. Ah, there's a way up here. I overlooked that bit. I'm very curious to see how the Brine King fight is gonna play out. It's level 49, 51, so in terms of level, I think I'm slightly over leveled, but still within the realms of reason. As I mentioned before, my gear is mostly a mix of Act 3 and Act 4 items, and I'm currently in Act 6, so definitely not over geared for the fight. So yeah, this all in all it might actually be a pretty decent reflection of what an average build or an average character would be on their first playthrough on their way to the actual bosses. So we'll see. It's difficult to remember just how it was to actually level characters without any leaks active at all, because I don't think I've actually leveled a character in the standard leagues since... Well, that's basically since back before we had leagues. I think after that I've always played in leagues. So for the last 2 years that I've been playing, I've always been playing in leagues. And all the league mechanics most of the time what they do is they do add extra loot drops, extra encounters, all kinds of extra things that in general just give you more items on your playthrough, therefore making it easier to gear yourself. Now something like Essence Leak, where every area gives you an essence, then you're drowning in essences and therefore you will drown in rare items. Ooh, Brine Crack, you look interesting. Okay. Do you actually have anything special? You're just doing melee attacks. Can you do anything? Hey, it's just a lobster with standard attacks. I was thinking maybe it has a charge attack or something, but yeah, doesn't really. Okay. Poor old Brine Crack. Just not impressive. But yeah, no, most of the leaks they make you more powerful and they push you ahead of the regular curve. So playing in the beta without anything going on, anything special to accelerate you, this is the baseline. I think that's actually was the Awakening beta, the 2.0 beta. That's the last time I actually played through without any leaks active. How could I have forgotten that? Okay, this is a bit of a dead end. That's a bit of a dead end. I skipped something. Ah, I skipped something there and there. Okay. Double check, this is probably a dead end. Yep, just internally routing, but this is the direction to push in, so that's alright. And there we are, shield crab. Go. More of these eyes. Well, they blind you, so what's the best thing to do in response to that? Pop your Stibnite Flask and blind them in return. They can't blind you if they are blinded. Well, they got a lower chance of doing it, of course. They can still try. And of course, more vicious parasites with more poison stacks. Okay, there's the beacon. With a waypoint. Okay. Ooh, that's a pretty big area. Must light the beacon to access the Brine King's Reef. Well, let's look for it. More infested crawlers with vicious parasites. I wonder if we had infested crawlers back in Act 1 on the beach. I wonder if that's already tied to the infestation here. Hello there, Sand Riders. I don't think you threw out frost orbs before, did you? Looks like we'll just have to follow the water. We can do that. But this is also nice. This is actually just like the pearly white beaches with the crystal clear water. The idyllic kind of ocean. Compared to the North Sea, which is mostly just brownish, greenish. Completely not pretty like this. Let's see, 49 area still. Okay, so about 5 levels per act seems about right. Does make for a bit more of a predictable curve, because I think before you targeted level 40 at the end of normal, 60 at the end of cruel, and then it was 10 levels for the entirety of merciless. If they now have divided it up a little bit more consistently, then indeed every act after Act 4 is just going to be 5 levels. So I wonder what they've done, if they have done something with the tiers of items, or if they've left that alone. Because before there were, I think I seem to remember that there were 3 cycles of items that basically, or 1 cycle of items that just repeated across all the difficulties. But now, of course, there's no more difficulties. So yeah, a bit of the old school style of naming things, of repeating the cycles, now probably gets lost a little bit in the shuffle. On the other hand, now we had to have 6 new acts, so no 3 and 3 would make sense. So there might still be a little bit of a pattern there. Another armor scrap. Hello there, Worn Sandman. Elriel!
God bless you on this fine day, Exile.
My favorite Templar. Feed souls to the relic. I think we can do that. I'll just pop up a war chief and pop up our beach chair, and then just watch the carnage. Works out pretty well, actually. See if we just draw them in with our Enduring Cry. It's so easy. And then we have more to mop up. Ooh, level 4, that means more crafting options for rings. And for amulets, of course. Okay, that was a dead end, but we can go up. Oh, okay. I think we're slowly getting to the point where we can expect to see a beacon or a lighthouse or whatever it is that we can expect to see here. Okay, looks a bit templey with the pillars. And another Orb of Alchemy. Okay. There's quite some things happening, also living statues, because, well, why not? Okay. Ah, yes, I see where we have to be. Up there. Yeah, and everything we kill drops vicious parasites. Luckily, the parasites themselves don't have parasites, because otherwise that could be a bit of a long walk. Ooh, refuel the beacon. I know this mechanic. And here you don't even move back for, or it doesn't even stop if there's foes nearby. That's even easier. Okay. Bloop. Ignition. Oh, there's another one on the other side. Ooh. over there. Yeah, it's an interesting gimmick. It's a nice variation on the usual. No, press a button here, pull a lever there. And this way you are forced to engage with the enemies. Also forced to stand in a specific spot, so I guess again for a more glass cannon style caster. Or archer, if you're playing a glass cannon archer, then this would be maybe a less ideal mission, but well, sucks to be you. Or sucks to be me if I'm gonna play a build like that. Light the beacon. Push. Okay. And next up is gonna be to throw the black flag into the flames. Most of the time I'm not a big fan of just throwing things down. Most of the time it's more convenient to click something rather than throw it to the floor. Yeah, see? Oh, just had to click on the flames. Interesting. Flying ghost ship. Whalem Roth. Oh, I know someone who would want to see Whalem. Daughter who happens to be in town.
So you're the shite that's gone and summoned me to the beacon, eh? Damn it all. Rules is rules, and now I'm bound to you. The legendary Whalem Roth, captain of the Black Crest, cursed to be the undead slave of some lowly outcast by the looks of it. You got an ass for a brain in a tick skull of yours? Of course I'll ferry you to the Brine King's bloody Reef. I'd be wanting to discharge this accursed duty and get back to me afterlife. It's not right. Not natural being above water without a beating heart in me chest. So get yourself aboard and be quick about it.
Okay. This is the moment that I've been waiting for the entire evening. Brine King.
Don't think I'm going to be bawling and chaining after your sorry ass once our journey to the reef is done.
Entering the Brine King's Reef. Got a waypoint. That's comfy. Monster level 50. Search for Nessa. Okay, so Brine King. Oh, of course, you. More lore.
Right. Well, on with it then. Go find yourself a salty sovereign to the throne. Fool's errand, if you ask me. Old Briney will gut you like a fish, but at least with you dead in the water, I'll be free to get on with me own voyage. So off you go, matey.
He sounds so cheerful.
Lord of Salt and Scales, what we used to call him. They say when the gods got the boot from our lands, that monstrosity went to sleep down in the deep. Dreamed the kind of dreams that cause all sorts of guild abominations to rise up, to plague and hunt us for what he thinks we must have done to him. Was a time we got ordered to hunt them things near extinction, free the trade routes from old Briney's tyranny. Even so, not a sailor worth his salt who won't sacrifice a lousy deckhand or two by light of the full moon just to keep that overgrown crab slumbering in the Oriath trench. If he's risen again, you bet your bloody ass we're all buggered.
We're all buggered. Let's look for the Brine King. Animated Reef, okay. Okay, lots of watery effects going on here. Looks pretty though, the area. Ooh, animated reef, and looks like there's some... What the hell are these things? They're somewhere in between fish and pirates. Hey, they look weird, the brine vessels. Alright, let's just murder them. And spend our skill points. Ooh, Bloodless, just before the boss fight. 1999. It's almost like the good old year numbers of old. But of course, in this case, it's just a live number. Just dinging just before a major boss fight and getting a nice life boost. Definitely comfy. Okay. Sheer numbers, sure, but we can still sustain through all the attacks that we're seeing, so that's good. Let's just group them up and slaughter them by the dozens. Seems like the most efficient way to do this. And we run into the edge of the map as we know it. What are you? Assault Strike. We're doing damage, that's of course because I'm not as surrounded by mobs as I would like to be. You're basically a golem. And we're still not smart enough to keep leveling our blasphemy. Might need to fix that soonish. Well, for now, doesn't really matter. Let's look for old Briny. Ooh, artisan. Currency, yes please. So we cast a lightning storm, get some other things around. Figure that one. I'll just add a bit to the mystique, then jump out of the lightning storm. And we keep going. And just some minor currency, not something truly there. That's unfortunate. Could have done with a couple more orbs of alchemy, I was gonna say, and then it drops. Nice. Interesting placement here. Just in between two things. It's a bit of a dead end. Quite a surge of mobs pushing towards it. Okay, we got some lag spikes here. Come on. Game instance, please don't die on me. I would like to just continue this uninterrupted, go fight the Brine King, and then go to bed. It is, wow, 1:30 AM. Yeah, that's definitely, yeah, I've been playing close to 3 hours in Act 6. Of course, no, I went over all the lore and just did pretty thorough clears of most of the areas. Yeah, that does help to just extend how much time you do spend in an act. But if you're doing a playthrough and you're ignoring all the lore and you're just being efficient about your playthrough, then I think you can probably do it in 2 hours instead of more than 3 hours.
You there, a moment of your time.
Hello, Fritzy. You are sending me to the west. Kill the target within the limits. Sure, I think I can do that. Somewhere off to the west. It's not a lot of west to go back to, but luckily we're close. Okay, half a minute. Number 2. So once we clear the add-ons, killing the Rogue Exile, easy. And nearly level 3 Vorici, that's good. Okay, keep throwing things at me, but I'll just stab you for it. And that concludes that. Okay. So we came in on that side, got a expectation that we're just gonna head over to the other side of the map in order to find the entrance to the Brine King fight. Seems reasonable, right? Yes, and yeah, still hanging in there. Still awake. Ooh, ghostly possessed golem. Let's draw this out a little bit. Okay, yes, we're surrounded again. That's good. Actually, for this build, getting surrounded is good because it means we can just leech more or gain more life. It's not leech. Technically, it's not leech, and we're running out of things to hit. You instantly notice. And there we are. Couple more useful items. Okay, nearly filled up on goodies. No doubt that all of these fine creatures are going to help us fill our pockets even further. After which we can go to town, empty the pockets, and then confront the Brine King. To teach him about the error of his evil fishy ways. And I teach him that it is not cool to abduct ladies from town and turn them into mermaids. Wait, you're the one running around. That means you're the real one. You're the real one. Stop moving. Or stop cloning yourself. That's maybe a better way to phrase it. This is more potentially more a hectic fight than the Mirage of Bones, because you get to actually go after the dude itself, or to do that. I'm not sure what it is. And you have all those siege ballistas that are running rampant. It gets hectic quick. Quick. Yes. Pick up a couple more items. Okay. Brine King. Oh, Brine King. Where are you? It's an ambush. Oh. And there we are. The Brine King's throne. So let's empty our pockets and then go into the fight. And we can also have a quick look at everybody, see what they have to say about the fight a moment before we go in. Let's see, anything else? Okay. Not useful. Not useful. Heavy belt, that's a crafting target. Sharkin boots, there's a bit of chaos resist, but that's also the only good thing we can say about it, so nope. Lightning res, life, mana regen, added cold damage, Sheer amount of life on here is nice. The other things, not a great selling point, but if we can craft some resist on here, this might help us just fix some resists in a pinch. And this is just rubbish again. Cool. So, all the currency goes in the box. Damps the rules. Blink, blink. Wow. This is actually rather lovely. Chaos resistance, double elemental resist. That's 55 elemental resist. There's no life on here, but loads of resists. And chaos resistance gets us pretty close to being positive again. Let's see, it's fire and cold, it's lightning, that's the one that we're short on, so that's a bit of a problem. This is built in fire and cold, so this would be an upgrade over the inherent resists from this one. But without life, that's less useful. Okay, so you know what, we'll just stash this as the potentially useful items. And then it is Brine King o'clock. Back to the reef. The Brine King's throne. Let's do this. Nessa!
So strong. So dedicated. A man like you would never disappoint a lady in need. You're a gift, don't you see? A sumptuous feast for His Majesty on his wedding day. Really. We are both so touched by your generosity.
What? I think she got eaten by the stone. I mean the crab. Okay, lots of brine spawns. Well, munch. That's a very strongly telegraphed move, intended to do a lot of damage. Let's see, what if we do the silly things and stand inside? Standing inside hurts. Standing outside here, there's so many add-ons that any Enduring Cry is just gonna get your charges filled up. That's good. Put a totem here. Let's see, make him bleed. Okay, and then we can't attack him. And whoa, the water comes in. Wow. Dang. This looks pretty. And that lightning actually hurts quite a bit. Okay. Whoa. Let's not get hit by an obviously telegraphed move. Also, if he's surrounded by water swirlies, that's probably gonna hurt as well. But note to self, keep Enduring Cry up at all times. Same thing for Fortify, and let's not get hit by the crab. Okay, and now she gets angry again. More lightning, yep. Okay, there's some markers. So, running into the water, okay, you're drowning basically. Slow degen, but it hurts. This fight definitely encourages you to move a lot. So the bonus we got for killing Tukohama earlier, the physical damage reduction for standing still, not really taking a lot of advantage of it. Okay, and ow, ow, ow. Upside, we're sustaining through this rather well. Sogoth, the Brine King. He actually has a name. And Fair Lady Merveil. Putting down lightning markers. Well, not Fair Lady Merveil. You're not Merveil. You're wannabe Merveil. You're Nessa. Okay. Hit me, missed me, not entirely sure. Hurt. And in the final stages, they're working in tandem. You get both the lightning zappies as well as the dude hitting you. as well as the water. But we are nearly there. And the Brine King is dead. Long live the Brine King. And hello there, Sin and Whalem. Let's see. And thus, the Lord of Salt and Scale returns to the watery ruins of Sotha, where he belongs. Come, ingest of his divine juices while they're still fresh. Okay. Soul of the Brine King. You cannot be frozen if you've been frozen recently. You cannot be stunned if you've been stunned recently. Defeat Glace. That's the boss of the beach map. Tier 2, bottom left. 50% reduced effect of chill on you. That's pretty nice. Defeat Asphyxia. That's the sewers. I think that was top right somewhere. Tier 3 map. 5% reduced cold damage taken. Defeat the Eroding One. Eroding One. That's the caverns, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's the caverns. 100% increased stun and block recovery. So this is all about not getting hindered in your movements. Well, as a first major soul, that's pretty nice to have. Cool. So, Sin has nothing more to say. Let's see what Whalem has to say.
How did you? You're still breathing. Bloody barnacles on me arse. You, my new friend, are a legend of the high seas to behold. I tell you what, I've already done my bit getting you here, but if you're looking to sail onto Frisia, me and the Black Crest would be honored to take ya.
Okay, sail to Act 7. And I think, well, Act 7 we enter into the bridge encampment. So we're gonna press the button and that's gonna be the end of it. So let's see where this takes us.
Hold on to your cockles, me hearty. The sea betwixt here and Frisia be the most ill-tempered there is. Here's hoping you've as much steel in your gizzard as you seem to in your heart. Cast off!
And we end up in the bridge encampment. And this is where I'm gonna leave you. So for, yeah, I'm gonna thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you again next time when we venture forth through Act 7, the last act of the beta. See you next time. Bye bye.